the right answer for the evolution and the journey that SolarWinds has been taking clients on.
Being able to see all that information in one pane of glass, being able to organize and maintain that, it's a really simple product.
Observability gives a customer everything they could possibly want as far as visibility of their key infrastructure.
We're in 60 different countries. We have 260 different sites with a whole collection of equipment, and SolarWinds lets us keep track of it.
It's just the best platform there is.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our first ever SolarWinds Day. I'm Sudhakar Ramakrishna, SolarWinds President and CEO. For over 20 years, we have established a leadership position in network, systems, database, application, and cloud monitoring markets by delivering incredibly simple and highly compelling value-based solutions. We also have an incredible set of tools and a service management solution that are aimed at increasing the productivity of our customers at a very compelling ROI. Our focus on simplicity and value have been created through intense customer centricity, and today we count more than 300,000 loyal customers as part of our community. The innovations we will share with you today are based on these foundations of customer centricity, simplicity, and compelling value. Last year, we committed to our customers and to the industry that we will retain the best of what made SolarWinds what it is today, evolve with our customers' needs, and grow together. Today's announcements will highlight how we are retaining our focus on simplicity and best-in-class value. Equally, we realize we need to evolve. Why do we have to evolve? Explosion of remote work, increasingly distributed teams, explosion of applications, personal preferences of all of us, and multi-cloud deployments for flexibility and cost reasons are accelerating the pace of customers' digital transformations. At the same time, these trends are also increasing their complexity, impairing their productivity, and increasing their costs. Added to this is the unfortunate fact that no company is immune to security threats, no matter its size, capabilities, or investments. The opportunity for us is to evolve to grow to support our customers' needs today and as they grow in this increasingly dynamic business world. We are growing with the introduction of our SolarWinds platform. We are growing the ability of our customers to manage their multi-cloud environments and growing the type of customers that can leverage our solutions from IT ops to DevOps, SecOps, Data Ops, Cloud Ops, and senior executives looking to get enterprise-level visibility, simplicity, and cost efficiencies. You will hear more about the details of the platform and a demonstration of its capabilities shortly. We are the best vendor to address these market challenges. If you look at the broad spectrum of monitoring capabilities and the world-class and award-winning technology assets we have built over time, there is no other vendor in the market that can unite these capabilities like we do. Before I turn it over to Rohini, who will discuss the exciting SolarWinds platform and associated solutions, I want to thank our entire team for their fantastic commitment to our customers and to our customers and partners for their ongoing commitment and input as we continue to retain the best of who we are, evolve continually, and grow together. Thank you once again for spending a significant part of your day with us. Now I'll turn it over to Rohini. Rohini.
Thank you, Sudhakar. Hello, I am Rohini Kasturi, Chief Product Officer at SolarWinds. I'm super excited to share our platform vision and direction with you all and give you a good understanding of where we are heading next. As Sudhakar mentioned, organizations are in various stages of digital transformation, either because of industry regulations, budgetary constraints, or simply business necessity. We have designed the SolarWinds platform to meet customers where they are today while helping them evolve as they continue their digital transformation journey. These needs also vary based on the role you play in the organization's digital transformation journey. Perhaps you are an IT monitoring professional or someone who manages private or public clouds, or you are a DevOps team leader or a cloud ops leader who needs to manage your business services and applications in hybrid and multi-cloud environments, a service or application owner, a line of business leader, or an automation expert, or a cloud architect designing the future and looking to automate operations across your distributed cloud environments. No matter what role you have, our strategy is designed to reduce your complexity, improve your productivity, and provide you with extraordinary flexibility. With the SolarWinds platform, you can evolve from monitoring to observability to autonomous operations across distributed clouds at your own pace and with the simplicity and support that SolarWinds is known for. Before we get into the details, I want to briefly touch upon monitoring versus observability. In monitoring, you collect logs or metrics from a network, a server, or a database through various point products. If you want to understand how your business service or an application is performing or want to determine the root cause of an outage, you will have to find a way of correlating data from various point products that can be time-consuming, labor-intensive, and isn't scalable, given that a business service is typically composed of users, infrastructures, network nodes, applications, cloud services, and so on, and often involve a broad array of monitoring tools that don't typically talk to each other. In observability, it's all about how the end-to-end business service is performing. Insights focus on the health of a business service, determine the impact and root cause of an outage, so you can resolve business challenges directly and at scale. Now, let me introduce you to the SolarWinds platform and its core elements. Let's start with data. We collect a rich set of holistic data and telemetry types of logs, metrics, traces, and events from the entire service delivery system and all your private and public cloud infrastructure, covering all users, networks, devices, applications, and services. You get full visibility and insights across the full stack, digital experience capabilities, networks, infrastructures, applications, databases, and cloud services. Business insights such as health scores are generated by correlating cross-domain data across the full stack using modern AIOps and machine learning technologies. In addition, we integrate our new observability capabilities with our service management offering. This is a foundational piece to our strategy towards delivering a platform for fully autonomous operations. Our platform provides unparalleled deployment flexibility. Customers can deploy on a private cloud or a public cloud or subscribe to our SaaS service. With flexible APIs and open telemetry support, you can now integrate with your existing environments seamlessly. All of this is built on SolarWinds Foundation for Secure by Design and driven by AIOps to help future-proof your investments. In summary, customers can visualize, analyze, remediate, and automate operations across hybrid and multi-cloud environments as they evolve from monitoring to observability to autonomous operations. Today, we're going to showcase two of our SolarWinds platform offerings. One is the SolarWinds Hybrid Cloud Observability, and the second, the SolarWinds Observability, our SaaS offering. So let's begin with the SolarWinds Hybrid Cloud Observability. Earlier this year, we launched our SolarWinds Hybrid Cloud Observability solution. Based on our conversations with our customers, we made several critical enhancements during the year, and we are now excited to announce our latest version. It's built to monitor and observe your entire stack, eliminate tool sprawl, and reduce alert fatigue and risk. It adds comprehensive AIOps capabilities and enables seamless migration for our entire install base. To this end, Hybrid Cloud Observability provides an essential on-ramp to the cloud by integrating with our new SolarWinds Observability, which is a SaaS offering. This is crucial in supporting customers at all stages of their cloud migration journey so that we can protect their investments and be cloud ready without the need to rip and replace. SolarWinds Hybrid Cloud Observability now integrates with Security Event Manager and Access Rights Manager products to address security observability use cases. Now, let's join our GVP of Product, Brandon Sharp, and Head Geek Crystal Taylor as they showcase what's under the hood of our powerful observability solution with a demo of the Hybrid Cloud Observability.
I'm Crystal.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're here today to talk to you about Hybrid Cloud Observability. So tell us, Brandon, what's going on in the product?
Yeah, no, we've got some great new things actually coming out right now in terms of the product here. So we'll have a new release of both Hybrid Cloud Observability as well as, for our Orion customers, a new version that they can upgrade as well. It will be called, 2022.3.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about what that process looks like, going from Orion to Hybrid Cloud Observability.
Yeah, no, great question again. And it's as simple as running an upgrade. That's it. It's just like if you were upgrading your existing Orion deployment, you download the executable, you run it, and everything happens behind the scenes.
Awesome. That sounds like quick and easy and no hassle. You can just wipe your hands of it when you're done.
Exactly.
Which we like. So I know that, there's been a lot of effort. We've done a lot of talks about Secure by Design. And can we talk a little bit about how Secure by Design played into the building of Hybrid Cloud Observability?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in regards to Secure by Design, one of the founding elements, we've put out a lot of different white papers, as well as content around, how we're re-architecting the next generation for supply build systems on that front. And as part of that work, one of the big elements that we did is we unified and we centralized, all of the module code down into, what we called internally monorepo or a single repository. And so that allows for a lot of different efficiencies from, little things like the installers like a gig smaller, to even the install and the upgrade running faster.
Well, that's all really good news. We definitely like when the upgrades go faster. We had a session a couple of years ago in Thwack Camp where people were doing their installs at the time while we were doing Thwack Camp, and it was a really big success. So I'm glad to hear there's more improvements for that kind of process.
Absolutely. That's an ongoing effort from us. Every release we look at how can we refine, how can we make that experience simpler, easier, faster, and better.
Awesome. Well, a lot of our customers are wondering, is Hybrid Cloud Observability intended to replace Orion, or, maybe what are the differences between the two?
Yeah, the short answer is no. Hybrid Cloud Observability is, a better Orion, if you will. A lot of the feedback, me having been here for, the better part of a decade on that front, I've heard a lot of feedback from the years, from our customers, from our internal stakeholders. Things like, each of the modules, having their own charge or licensing metric, to things like, deployment flexibility around that on that side as well. So a lot of this feedback that we've heard through the years, we've taken this back in, and that's what we launched back in April, which was the Hybrid Cloud Observability. And so, so a couple of the major differentiators are Hybrid Cloud Observability is node-based from a licensing. So again, trying to simplify that. It is a one installer. It lays down everything instead of having to download NPM or Network Performance Monitor and then download Network Traffic Analyzer later and evaluate that. You have to install it, run the configuration wizard, etc. How do we streamline that and make that simpler?
That's awesome. And having gone through the install myself, it is very easy. And I have to say that it's nice improvement. I've also been around the products for a very long time, so it's a very nice and welcome improvement. You mentioned evaluation there. So I know that we have a new feature called Instant Eval. And with the improvements to the installer and the way that everything kind of works now, what does that mean for evaluations?
Yeah, so kind of I was discussing a second ago, with you own Network Performance Monitor, you want to try NetFlow Traffic Analyzer, you go to the website, you download it, you run the installer, etc. Now it's just a click of a button. So when you upgrade to the 2022.3 release, there will be something, a button in there to where, one, if you're an existing module-based customer, you can try out another module. Or if you want to try out Hybrid Cloud Observability, all you do is click that button. We'll light up the functionality in the UI just like that. The evaluation will run for 30 days, just like it normally does. And then let's say at the end, you're like, you know what, it's great, but I'm not quite ready to move yet. I don't have budget or whatever the reason may be. It will fall back down to what you own automatically. So again, streamlining, simplifying kind of that experience.
That is excellent news. Nothing like having to go back and take a downtime to uninstall an evaluation that didn't quite work out for whatever reason. I mean, there's many reasons things may not work out for that. So that's really good news. I think everyone will be excited to hear about that. And that is for the Orion module based as well as HCO.
That's right. So if you're an HCO or Hybrid Cloud Observability customer, let's say you have the Essentials edition. All you do is click that button if you want to try Advanced. It will turn on that additional capability and functionality within that advanced tier. Again, 30-day eval. You don't purchase or apply a license for advanced, it'll fall back to Essentials automatically.
So now that we've kind of talked about what it is and what it isn't and, the comparisons to Orion, which we're not getting rid of, I just want to kind of take a couple of moments to go into some new features or some of the newer things in the product. So let's jump in with something that everyone already likes and exists in Orion, which is modern dashboards and what that means now and kind of what we're looking for in the future with that.
Absolutely. And so over the past set of releases, you've seen us make incremental changes and incremental improvements here. We still have the existing dashboarding technology, but we also are shipping the new modern dashboards. And so we're starting to replace some of the old dashboards with this new modern experience. And with the latest releases, we also did that with the configuration management functionality on the network side. So as you see here on the screen is in the new modern experience. And one of the cool things I think about this is what we did is we actually took a blank slate and we went out to a set of our customers that are active and very passionate users of this functionality. And we just asked them and said, how would you organize it? How would you set it up? What do you want to see? So that way we're getting and capturing, that real-time feedback from our users, and we incorporated that ultimately into what we're shipping here in this design.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this dashboard, as the replacement for the existing NCM config summary dashboard that was there, has been a really big hit. Every time I've talked to someone about it, they've been like, oh, what's this? Do I have this? This is amazing. This is incredible. And I like that we're moving more towards it in the future. It's much more flexible. It's more colorful. You can do a lot more with it and make it look really nice and crisp over kind of the old technology. So I'm happy that we're moving more in that direction.
Absolutely. And we'll continue to do more here as we move forward into the future.
Awesome. And I'll add to that, you mentioned that it was from talking to customers. So I'll just throw a shout out to our user experience team. If you get a chance to do user experience, it has real results in the product. You can see it. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out there to make sure that you take some time to do some user experience if you have time. We appreciate it. Awesome. Well, let's move on to one of our new features, which is SD-WAN monitoring capabilities. Can you show us what that looks like?
Absolutely. SD-WAN has been a technology that's been growing and our customers have been increasingly asking for from us. So what we did here is, SD-WAN is a little unique in the respect that, there is infrastructure that is on premises. That is still very much SNMP based. However, you have now a cloud orchestrator or a cloud portal to where you manage a lot of this SD-WAN infrastructure from. And that is more API based. And so that presents some additional challenges when it comes to adding support for these because each API is different. If you go look at vendor X versus vendor Y, they're completely different in terms of structure, unlike SNMP. So we started out with Meraki. We picked Meraki because we already support it from a wireless perspective, so we can already talk to that API. So it's now just adding in the SD-WAN functionality that we want to be able to visualize. And so in the demo here, as you could see, we go down and we go and drill into the cloud orchestrator. And so from the orchestrator, you'll be able to see all of the edge devices, that are associated with that orchestrator and very quickly and easily import them, on that front. And so what you'll see here as well at the orchestrator level, besides kind of a view around what are the devices or what are the edge devices that are associated there and the performance and status of those, what you'll also see are things like information around the WAN uplink configuration, around the topology, but we're also creating, and we added this into AppStack. So now with an app stack, you see, servers and containers, but you also see SD-WAN orchestrator and SD-WAN edge. So that way you can understand the relationships from an application perspective, what SD-WAN infrastructure it's transversing over, et cetera.
Awesome. This is a lot of information. I mean, you kind of scrolled through the page there, but there's loads of stuff on there. And I hear that we're going to be looking to add more into it in the future besides Meraki. So
That's right.
Vendors.
That's right. So I'm showing you Meraki right now, but the other new support that we're announcing here with this release is VeloCloud. And so while I'm showing you Meraki, imagine it was a VeloCloud. And so that will be available to our customers that are leveraging that technology. But to your point, in the future, we are going to continue to add more, from Viptela, from Palo Alto with CloudGenix, HP Aruba with Silver Peak and others. So, we'll continue to move down the list based upon, our customers' demand and continue to add, the applicable SD-WAN support.
Awesome. This has been really fun to look at. So I'm excited for our customers who get to use it. And more importantly, I'm excited that we're continuing to kind of stay on top of it and add this functionality as we go. Once again, we really listen. So if you guys are interested or if you're leaning towards one vendor over another, let us know. So now we can talk about another feature, which I personally am the most excited about, which is the start of our kind of AIOps journey in hybrid cloud observability.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
I want to hear your take on what that is going to look like with alerting.
Yeah, so AIOps, as you touched upon, that's a new capability. And that is, to your point or question earlier about some of the differentiation or differences between hybrid cloud observability and the traditional Orion products. AIOps will only be available to our hybrid cloud observability customers that are in the advanced edition. So that is one of the notable differences there. But initially what we're focusing on is anomaly detection on metric-based data. So we went back and looked at what is driving the volume of alerts for our customers. And it's things like CPU, memory utilization, interface utilization. So instead of running everything through our AI and ML service, which is a cloud-based service. So this will be running in our cloud, in SolarWinds Cloud. And so data from your on-prem hybrid cloud observability instance will be sent up into this AIOps service. It will be run through the appropriate algorithm, and the resulting metadata will be returned back to that hybrid cloud observability instance. So it will kind of do a round trip there on that front. And so within the, your on-premises hybrid cloud observability deployment, within the alerting engine, you'll have the ability now to create an anomaly-based alert. So you can go in there and start to say, instead of, CPU, alert me when CPU is greater than or equal to 80%. Real basic example. Yeah. Now you can just say, alert me when CPU utilization is anomalous. When is it not normal on that front? And as we move forward, we'll continue to look to advance and add more capabilities, start to drive more root cause analysis and on that front from an anomaly or from a AIOps perspective.
Well, thank you so much for taking us through that. I think I'm really, really excited about the alerting capabilities and the kind of AIOps machine learning stuff that's going to make alerting even better for our customers, because I'm always talking about making alerting better and more actionable so you don't have as much noise. And walking us through the demo. And all of the demo we've shown today is available on our public demo, so feel free to check it out for yourself.
Absolutely. And look forward to, we'll have many more great updates. And as we release those, we'll make sure to update and share those with everybody.
We thank all our customers for their feedback since our launch in April. Let me quickly summarize the value and benefits of hybrid cloud observability. 1, gain a unified platform with single pane of glass monitoring and actionable intelligence so you can eliminate tool sprawl, resolve problems faster, and manage hybrid environments proactively. 2, correlate problems that happen at the same time on related devices with intelligence, which is AIOps powered, customizable alerts to reduce alert fatigue and risk, and increase automation by focusing on the issues truly impacting your environment. 3, purchase the nodes you need with a single license and deploy however you want across your environment. Further your cloud modernization efforts with flexible deployment options on-premises to self-hosted in the cloud. Hybrid cloud observability is built to integrate with SolarWinds Observability, which is our SaaS solution, so you can be cloud ready without the need to rip and replace and evolve as your business needs dictate. Rigorous adherence to our secure by design principles and our advanced multi-layer security framework has been core to the value proposition here, from our software deployment lifecycle through the infrastructure and people. Now, I would like to talk to you about our newest SolarWinds platform offering, which is SolarWinds Observability. It's a comprehensive SaaS offering developed as a cloud-native service and is available through both AWS and Azure marketplaces. It provides a single source of truth for multiple data types, including user experience, websites, applications, infrastructure, logs, databases, and networks. This means you get application observability with comprehensive code level, modern application level observability, infrastructure observability to help ensure the health and performance of cloud-based resources, log observability for scalable, full stack, and multi-source log management, digital experience observability so you can understand client-side or end-user perspectives of availability and performance, database observability built to provide performance monitoring to diagnose and analyze database issues, and network observability for end-to-end visibility across multi-vendor on-premises networks. The AI Ops, AI machine learning capabilities with the built-in AI/ML built-in engine designed to drive higher quality insights and reducing false positives, and logical entity groupings for holistic health monitoring of critical business services. Now, let's join our VP of Product, Josh Tagerberg, and Head Geek, Crystal Taylor, as they show our new observability as a service offering, which is SolarWinds Observability.
I'm Crystal Taylor.
And I'm Josh Sudhakar.
And we're super excited today to announce a new SolarWinds offering, SolarWinds Observability.
Yeah, we're here today to talk about our new software as a service offering, SolarWinds Observability.
Well, that sounds exciting and new and different. So what can you tell me about it?
With SolarWinds Observability, we took an approach that said, how are we going to deliver value to DevOps users who are delivering modern applications on modern infrastructure within their businesses? And in that context, we came at it from, let's support natively hyperscalers, so like Amazon or Azure. We said, let's support native basic APM capabilities like code instrumentation. Let's support log tailing, even database capabilities, right? So there's a lot in here, and we're going to unpack a lot of that through the things that I show you today.
That's very exciting. So you mentioned a couple of cloud platforms, which is very exciting. Everyone's sort of on a journey to the cloud. They're either partially there, they're using multiple different cloud vendors, or, in some rare cases, they're still completely on premises. So, why don't you walk us through a little bit about that? How does that work?
Sure. So from the first time you log into SolarWinds Observability, you'll have a simple setup screen that looks like this. The AWS CloudWatch integration is something that you can set up with just a few clicks by clicking on AWS, putting in a display name, and getting your tag from AWS, and then hitting setup using CloudFormation. Similarly, for Azure, you can do a very quick setup that allows you to quickly get your Azure and AWS environments into the system. Now, what that looks like, if we dig down, is we can go down to our metrics, right? And we can see, for instance, all of the AWS CloudWatch metrics that you can collect in sort of an infinite scroll. And of course, you can search for the ones that are most important to you very quickly from the top menu. So again, just immediate, fast, get your data in, start seeing stuff in a single pane of glass.
We love immediate results, quick and easy at SolarWinds. And I personally am very excited for the clean and easy to use interface. I think that's always a good move. So, what do we expect for multi-cloud strategy? We have two now. Are there plans for the future to add more?
Yeah, so in the future, we'll probably be adding hyperscalers like GCP and maybe even additional ones. In the meantime, we've also got the capability to look at your private cloud infrastructure as well and be able to bring that into our single pane of glass. So when I show you, for instance, our home screen, what we're looking at is a combination of all of the hosts and the database infrastructure and services and websites across all our different environments, including our multiple clouds, right? Which gives you a real bird's eye view of what's going on in your environment.
Awesome. Helping to make some connections between all of those things as we have to do manually now. What does that look like for thresholds and kind of alerting and all of that? If we have all of it in one place, does that mean that we also have the capability to do all of that in one place? We don't only have to go to all these different places to get those things done?
Yeah, so our alerting is a specific section in our environment where you can create and set up alerting based on various triggers, including and set severity types and sort of what the alerts do, right? One of the cool things about this is if we were to go and create an alert, right, we can quickly decide whether this is a critical or a warning or an informational alert, and then we can step through a simple wizard to build out conditions and the notification settings. And when we do that, right, let's say this alert is going to be called SolarWinds demo alert, right? And we'll click next. We can set this alert based on metrics we collect or even log data. And then we can say, simply from a drop-down, we can say this is a website alert, right? And it's scoped by specific websites, and we can set up conditions, tags, triggers, right? And all this in the single wizard, and then we show the summary. Now, one thing that I want to address each time is, well, but I don't want yet another alerting system, right? So if you're using, whether you're using Slack or whether you're using Teams, if I go to notification services, you can see the integrations that we have built in out of the box, things like Slack, Teams, OpsGenie, PagerDuty, right? And we're consistently adding more here so that you're not actually having to decide where you want this data, but it's coming into the system that you want it to.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I also see there that you've got just like a bog standard webhook integration, which is great because you can, all kinds of alternative products and whatever you might be using. If you're not using one of the mainstream ones, you still have options. You can set up a webhook. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, webhooks also let us create tickets in various ITSM systems, including our own, right? But also if you use a third-party system.
Awesome. I think everyone would be excited if they don't have to set up a new ITSM if they got a new software set up. So you mentioned while we were in the alerting thing, you showed that we can alert off of metrics, but also off of logs. So what does that look like in SolarWinds Observability?
So with SolarWinds Observability, we'll be able to pull logs from all your various data sources, whether they're databases, servers, programs, applications, and you'll be able to tail them in a single pane of glass. What that means is not only will you see the logs coming in, but you'll be able to search based on time, tag, program, or even query syntax. And of course, SolarWinds Observability supports a flexible retention period for logs depending on your needs as well.
That was going to be my next question. So it does live and historical querying.
Yeah. So the live tail is really great for when you're troubleshooting an application that you've just pushed into production or when you're looking into an issue. And then historical is really great when you come back from that weekend trip and you say, what happened this weekend, right? So that's both of those use cases are really well supported here in the tool.
Okay, so we've talked about quite a few things. And what does the licensing look like for this? Everyone's going to be asking, what does the licensing look like? So let's talk a little bit about that. Is it like a per seat? Is it per device? Is it per log metric? Is it per metric? How does that work?
Yeah, so we tried to make the licensing really straightforward depending on what your needs are, right? So if you need logs for a certain period of time, we can provide that. If you need digital experience monitoring type checks, right? So like uptime, for example, you can get those in a cost metric that makes sense, right? But what we really wanted to avoid was charging you for the number of people that use the system, right? So I think the way to think of a system like this is that the more people that have access to it, the more powerful you're going to be able to be in terms of communicating, having people have that shared source of truth, really be able to troubleshoot and quickly get on the same page rather than sort of having disagreements on calls. I'm looking at this tool, I'm looking at that tool, right?
Yeah.
So we really sort of went down that path, right? How do we make it so that we're charging you meaningfully for the types of things that you want and making sure that you can leverage it across your entire organization?
That sounds really good. So collaboration and communication are really important these days, especially with kind of distributed workforces, distributed customers. So how are we kind of handling that with the observability?
Yeah, so when we thought about imagining digital experience monitoring in SolarWinds Observability, we weren't starting from scratch. Right? So our Pingdom product is a sort of well-established digital experience monitoring tool, combining things like uptime checks, synthetic monitoring, real user monitoring, right? And we have brought that goodness over to SolarWinds Observability. If you take a look at my screen here, what I'm showing you is where we've brought up our first set of probes in SolarWinds Observability, and more coming as time goes on. And from each of these places, you can run each of these style of checks. So that way, you don't have to have a presence in, you don't have to host your website in Europe in order to make sure that it's available to European customers, for example, or European employees. And then additionally, when you look at our digital experience monitoring section of the tool, you can see at a glance what website, how many of your websites are up, how many of your websites are in a good state, right? What your availability looks like. So we're starting to show you a real bird's eye view of what your environment looks like from a digital experience monitoring perspective, which we think really delivers on that value.
What would you say to those of our potential users, our DevOps customers, what they can do about open telemetry? I know that's a really big deal right now. Everyone's very excited about it, and there's a lot of users for that space. So what do we do for open telemetry?
Yeah, so we took the approach with SolarWinds Observability that we would make OpenTelemetry the standard endpoint for ingest into the system. And what that means is our customers can use any OpenTelemetry agents that they've already got in their environment, as well as if they'd like to use OpenTelemetry agents that are managed by our system. You can see here we have our agent management framework where you can actually see what agents are deployed where, whether they are what versions they are, when they were last seen. You can turn on automatic updates, right? So again, we have a unified agent management framework that lets you understand what's going on with the agents in your environment. But I want to emphasize the agents themselves that we're providing are OpenTelemetry agents, right? Okay. So our endpoint really is OpenTelemetry, and you can roll your own if you like as well.
Awesome. So that means if I already have an OpenTelemetry agent that I like, I don't have to download and install a new agent. I can just send the data to SolarWinds Observability.
Exactly.
All right. So we've talked a lot about the ways that you can get data in here. So let's talk about correlation, because I think that's going to be really important. Right now, there's a lot of manual work involved in correlating data, right? You know what parts of your app are connected to what parts and what you need to look to. But should you have to do that manually?
So in SolarWinds Observability, we thought we'd automate all that for you. Yes. So whether we're getting data from our OpenTelemetry agents or whether we're using that OpenTelemetry code instrumentation to understand what's going on in the actual application, whether we're looking at the database queries, we'll be able to pull all that together in our unified platform here and show you all of these relationships that we are able to infer. And here on the screen, I've got a service that's running, and I can show you, if I scroll down, the topology map. These are all inferred connections for this service. And this service being like a service that a customer has built to run in their cloud.
That's very exciting. So, everything in one place, and, color coding, I assume is going to be status coding?
Yeah, so the color coding that you're seeing here is based on our health score.
And when we talk about health score, we talk about a derived metric that you can't just pull off of a system. You can't say service or application or cloud, what is your health, right? And so what we're doing is we're using our machine learning technology that we built into the platform to come up with a health score from everything from a individual device all the way up to a complex multi-cloud service. And then we're leveraging that throughout the system, whether it's in visuals like this, or alerting, or dashboards, right? So that you have a metric that you can see consistently across every level of your application.
Awesome. At a glance, knowing how it's doing. That's the key to making it observable.
Yeah, especially when a server or a Kubernetes container, for example, might be down or might have its CPU pegged, but it's not affecting your application, right? You need health score at these different levels to understand what's really going on.
Absolutely. Well, this is a great use case. It's another conversation for an application that might be hosted on the web. And we've talked a lot about web stuff. I don't want to leave behind our database friends. So talk to me a little bit about what database is playing in here.
So connecting to database is also a key value prop, like you mentioned. And what we're able to do from a service here is see what databases are associated with that service, but artifacts like how much time is being consumed by database queries. But we can go a step deeper. We can go into traces. Now, these are APM traces, and these traces can actually connect all the way through into the database. So what that looks like, when I click on a trace, I can actually see the raw data and the query coming into the database, as well as all of the information that I need in order to hit root cause. For instance, what the database was, what actual trace span it was, what the actual amount of seconds it took for that specific database call. And in the future, we'll go a step further and automate that root cause analysis directly and show it up to the user.
Well, you're getting me very excited. I love automation. The more we can automate, the less work our end users have to do.
Very true.
As you know, in the IT world, we have a big problem with too many notifications. It's so much noise that we can't figure out what's actually going wrong. And a lot of times that leads to extended periods of time trying to fix problems like performance degradation that our users are saying. But we kind of want to get ahead of that. So what can we do about that?
So, for example, you might set up a alert condition on a trace, right? So in this case, let's take an example where I have a service that I built, and what the service is returning a 500 error, right? Mm-hmm. So this is clearly an alert based on something where I'm getting a no response, right? And in this context, inside SWO, under my service, I can look at traces, and I can see this status 500 error is coming back. So if I click on details to understand what's going on, I can see very quickly that this 500 error is actually a PHP parse error, and I can go back and look at the timestamp of when this is occurring, right? And when I see that, I say, oh, well, that's related to a software push we just made. Let's go ahead and roll that software push back, right? So very quickly understanding what's going on in my environment in a way that impacts users based on an alert that's meaningful to me. And the last thing you do is, before you create a group, is select whether you want to use the health as an average, a worst case, or a best case for that group.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, so think of a situation where you have 6 servers behind a load balancer, and you're not going to interrupt your weekend with your family if one of them or 2 of them are down, right? Okay. You might select average, but think about a group of servers and application that support your critical business needs, that say, if any of these things are down, it might have dire consequences to your business, right? You might say, I want this group's health to reflect the worst score of anything in this group. Right? So there's different reasons to choose them, but we make this flexibility because we envision people being able to provide themselves with the most meaningful alerts at the right time in the group that they want.
So you've told us a lot today about the new products, right? You've told us about the different types of data we can pull in, how it looks in the platform, the types of customizations we can do, the different ways we can do alerting, all kinds of things. So what makes SolarWinds Observability different and special?
Yeah, so we talked about digital experience monitoring, we talked about application performance monitoring, we talked about network and infrastructure capabilities, we talked about hyperscalers and cloud, we talked about database, we talked about log management, right? There's a lot of pieces here. Pulling them together, what you get is an alert that fires against your digital experience monitor that triggers a trace, that associates the relevant log data, that runs all the way through into the database so that you can understand no matter where the issue is, exactly where the root cause of the problem is in your application or your service as quickly as possible in a single pane of glass using SolarWinds Observability, which means that you can maintain those aggressive SLO and SLA targets that you're tasked with as a DevOps engineer, as a developer, as an IT pro.
Well, we love to hear it. Any way you can pinpoint a problem faster to resolve it faster is always better in everyone's books. I mean, in not just, in a I want to move on with my day situation, but also, I mean, as a business service, it's critical to keep things up and running as fast as possible. I mentioned it earlier, but patience is out the window. So it's definitely improvement on everything that I've seen so far to see that we can get in there and see it right away and correlate different types of data together and find the problem faster.
And we are really excited to share SolarWinds Observability with you starting today.
We thank all our early access customers for providing us a lot of good feedback. Let's summarize the benefits of SolarWinds Observability. This is a comprehensive SaaS offering developed as a cloud-native solution. This provides a single source of truth for the performance of the entire service delivery chain. This provides comprehensive observability of applications, logs, digital experience, databases, networks, and cloud services. This integrates with service management for automated remediation and the built-in AI ops or AI and machine learning powered intelligence. And to summarize the benefits of the SolarWinds platform, with both Hybrid Cloud Observability and SolarWinds Observability, you can observe everything, observe from anywhere, and get immediate ROI and significant reduction in your total cost of ownership. The SolarWinds platform is designed so our customers can evolve from monitoring to observability to autonomous operations across distributed clouds at their own pace. As we think ahead to the future, there are few concepts guiding our work. Our vision is to simplify our customers' lives even further with autonomous solutions, with the SolarWinds platform as our foundation. In the increasingly complex world of distributed clouds, we want to make your life easy. We want the platform to discover your infrastructure, applications, databases, and cloud services, to automate your operations, to manage your business services, and most importantly, we want to focus on your business requirements to help simplify your lives even further. We look forward to your feedback and hope you will join us for more exciting announcements in the future. With that, I'll hand it over to Sudhakar for closing remarks.
Thank you, Rohini, and thank you to all Solarians who made this day possible. At SolarWinds, our purpose is to enrich the lives of the people we serve. Our customers are a very important aspect of who we are today and who we aspire to become. I'm very excited about our SolarWinds platform because it enables us to accelerate the enrichment of our customers' experiences. This is done through simplicity and great value. I'd also like to ask you to reach out to us and try these solutions. Our goal is to delight you. We want your feedback as it helps us continue building solutions to meet your needs now and into the future. I sincerely hope you enjoyed today with us, and I look forward to seeing you for more SolarWinds days in the future. Thank you.